you gave me this morning and sat in the seat for a couple hours. It bailed me out. And, I say this every time. It's like a broken record. Is it live or is it MEMOREX? A lot of people won't even get that. But anytime you call, I'll be there for you.
Was MEMOREX the commercial where the guy got blown away by the speaker?
No, it was both.
Is it live or is it MEMOREX?
Both speakers.
Blew your mind away, man, because you didn't know.
I feel like that was a MEMOREX ad. Z, does that?
You're correct. I actually believe you're correct. But you know what I'm going to do to make sure you are correct.
Google.
Yeah.
All right, Zamora. If I say the ad where the guy gets blown away by the speaker, do you know what I'm talking about? Because that's like
Bose speakers.
The biggest reason
it was a print ad.
I didn't get your commercials when I lived overseas.
That's why I was wondering if that was something.
Yeah, when we would watch programming over there, we would get the same shows basically for free, but about 6 months later. So our Christmas specials would air in like July. And then the deal that it was is you can't air any commercials. So the U.S. Broadcasting Network would basically create their own. And some of them were literally like, no, you can't mail explosives. Don't forget to change your socks. And a lot of it was like, it was a great example I was able to use when I was in 10th grade English class of like, we were reading books about like, government spinning, stories, and they're like, oh, but that's just in books. I'm like, yeah, but there's examples of that elsewhere. And they're like, how? And I'm like, because on AFN, the Armed Forces Network, they'll break down key moments in military history, and they're all battles we won. They're never going back to like, oh, here's an area that we completely screwed up.
Do you want to hear the commercial, Ross?
Do you have the commercial?
Yes.
But it wasn't for.
Okay, this is a butler walking in.
The usual, sir. Even after 500 plays, our high fidelity tape still delivers high fidelity.
Wow. What? Yeah, this is it. And the guy's holding on to his leather seat.
Yep.
No.
And his lamp's blowing away in the background.
No, it's his wine glass.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, the wine glass blows away.
Well, his wine glass starts moving on the desk next to him, and he just reaches over and grabs it.
But it's Maxell.
No,
yeah,
it
is
not.
Maxell. You're right.
No, it was Bose speakers.
So good memory, by the way.
It's
shitty memory, by the way.
But MEMOREX was another brand, though. Is it live or is it MEMOREX?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, this is live. We're going to be live until about 5. What do you say, Travis? You got to leave about 5:15, 5:20?
About 5:15, yeah.
Okay, all right. You can take off. You get out of here and go do what the other stuff is. Zamora and I will hang out back. When you look at the blink, I think that's about the time the luncheon play time. So we'll get Chris back in here around 5:15, 5:20. But until then, let's have some fun. See, fire up the show, man. Let's see what we can run into.
quarantine, smoke some green.
With the Sports Fanatics, powered by Harrison Truck Centers.
In fact, see, let's do that, man. Let's get some keywords out of the way here. Let's help you pay your bills right now. KXNO and iHeartRadio want to help you out with paying your bills. Text the keyword WIN to 200-200 right now for your chance to win $1,000. That's WIN, W-I-N, to 200.
Fucking dad.
You'll get a confirmation text and
Motherfucking dad.
message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
Have you get a chance yet to see any of Rob Manfred's conversation with Scott Van Pelt that aired on SportsCenter and ESPN over the last 24 hours?
I did not.
Some interesting stuff thrown about here. And primarily the conversation was about what this Major League Baseball season could possibly look like. And there are a lot of different scenarios that are kind of, and I think it was Rob Manfred was very smart not to pigeonhole himself and commit to anything. He didn't try to give any specific start dates. It didn't even try to, Scott Van Pelt tried a couple times to get him to narrow in on a length of a season. And he was smart enough to kind of stay away from that and allow this thing to play out.
Yep,
Before they
I'm back in Colorado for tax
reasons. But it did get me thinking about what this could look like. Okay, now, did you see what Scott Boras has thrown out? Scott Boras claims to have done all the research needed to be done as far as...
Scott Boras is an idiot if he thinks people want to watch baseball around Christmas time.
Dude, he wants to play the World Series on, like, December 26th.
Good God.
That's a disaster.
Yeah, it
It
is
will
a
ruin
major
baseball.
disaster.
Neutral site.
Ruin baseball.
I don't think it would ruin baseball. It would be a bad decision. It would be it would ruin that World Series. I think you would have
Smoking
fans
some weed
upset.
crack, Travis.
Dude. Yeah, I think fans would be like, you know what? Because you may not fans of the two teams playing the World Series might be happy because their teams are playing the World Series, but I think you have fans that are just put off by, okay, this was supposed to be over in October. I moved on to college football. I'm now in college bowl season. I'm in the thick of the NFL getting ready for the playoffs, and the last thing I want to think about right now in December is the World Series.
I think you're right that you would have some fans that are upset, but I don't think there's any scenario we can draw up where some people aren't going to be upset because, like, are going to be upset because it's shortened, and then if you go with some sort of, okay, well, we'll have to play it in some sort of, you know, dome or whatever. I agree completely, Travis, that you're going to have people upset if it goes that late, but I think we're beyond the point where everybody's going to be happy with whatever MLB decides to do.
You might be right there, but I still say this. If you want to gauge amazing fan interest in the game, whenever you pick the season up, you end it. Let's say it's like July 1, right? Let's use that date as an arbitrary date. And the end of the season is what? The end of September? You're going to have the most intense 3 months of baseball you've ever seen. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is fun to watch.
Every game means something.
Yes. And then you come back the next season and you're like, God, do you remember that? I'm ready to watch in March. I'm ready to watch, or in April. I'm ready to watch in May. Ross, you and I had this conversation when I was on 2 days ago. By the middle of June, you're kind of like, And then you wait for
August
to come around.
Yeah, those dog days of summer are real, man. When baseball, even going down, even loving baseball, you get down there and you go, oh man, this is mundane.
Another thing that would be really good about that is realistically, I don't know what it's like to be in a Major League Baseball clubhouse on a team that you know probably isn't going to do well. But that's got to be a rallying cry for some of those teams that are a little bit weaker. Like, hey guys, if you give us 162 games, maybe we can't hang in it there. But if you give us a shortened season, we can find a way to become like a, Minnesota Twins, last year, where it's like, hey, we can put it together and we can hold on long enough to
believe.
A good example of that would be, how many times do we see pitchers just really dominate in April and May because they go through one time, right? And you're like, you haven't figured them out. Like, God, this guy's and then they fall off because you've seen them a second or third time. You may not get that, right? And this plays right into what you're saying, Zamora, and that is you could have some of those weaker teams who are strong early on but tail off because they just don't have the depth and don't have the pitching to hang in there. I think it makes it interesting.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that in Major League Baseball, man? Where a team that's in first place in
June, right? Remember, we were just talking about
this morning. Sean played that as the gem of the day. It was the Fukudome. What was it? A bomb on opening day? I never remember.
I think it was. I don't know.
I just remember hearing Ron Santo, and it made my Thursday to hear that voice again. So with Manfred saying that they want to get as many games in as possible, probably means doubleheaders. I did see today that Clayton Kershaw and a few other players weighed in and talked about what sort of preparation period was going to be required, because that was another thing that Manfred did talk about with Scott Van Pelt, Travis, about. These guys normally have 6 weeks. 8 weeks to really get ready. From the time they are on campus until the time they ship out to go start games that people are paying for and that are mattering on the schedule, they've got almost 2 months. My opinion on this is you tell these guys, stand ready. We're going to give you, from the minute we get a go signal, you're going to get like 2 weeks. And I feel like 2 weeks is a long time. Some of the stuff I heard today was that some of these major leaguers are still going to ask for or hope for like a month of some sort of spring training, or now what they're just going to call preparation.
The ball got cleaner, but I got to use the final clean.
Is it crazy to expect these guys to be in that kind of stand-ready position?
I think
quarantine cleaned them all.
Sean Roberts and I had a long discussion about this, I believe, on Tuesday. It might have been Wednesday as well. And I go, Sean, I'm not going to put you in a major league uniform, but tell me why you need 4 weeks. He goes, hitting, fielding, you don't. It's the arms. You got to get the arms ready. If your arm's not ready to go,
Yeah,
you
man,
deal
the
with all sorts of
arms,
issues.
man.
And he's thinking more from a pitcher's perspective than anything, right? So if those arms aren't ready, then you could run into some trouble.
Imagine throwing a pill back and forth probably constitutes disregarding social distancing, right?
Well, I wonder how
I
many of
saw
these.
people playing catch from balconies in Italy, and it was like a video that was going viral. Like, oh, cool, look at this.
Well, I wonder how many
Oh, man.
pitchers who are in the major leagues or even the minor leagues can go to their backyard and have a mound set up where you just got a bucket of balls and you throw into a target, right? Remember the net growing up? I had this.
Yeah.
I had a net,
Bounce back.
a net that with a square, and the damn ball would bounce back to me if I hit it.
It was or pitchback, not bounce back. Called pitchback was the name of that thing. Absolutely, dude. We had probably 50 pitchbacks around the Peterson house. Those things were everywhere. And they'd bend easily when you and your brother would get in a fight around them.
I don't know how a pitchback takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
I can tell you how a pitchback takes a 45-pound 8-year-old.
Does it break the fall?
Slowly. A little bit.
Damn it!
Dad! Dude, all right, so I'll tell you this story, because again, whenever I start to think about my brother, all these great stories come up. My brother-in-law just moved in with us, and we had a bad snowstorm, and we go out, and the three of us, my brother-in-law, and I are going to shovel the snow. And we had a bunch of brothers that lived in our neighborhood, but next door, across the street, were another couple of brothers.
Brother.
So Brad, my brother, is like, Ross, let's build a giant snow fort, and it'll face the Penix house. And then when they come out, we'll have this huge fort be built, and it'll be awesome. What do you think, man? So we made my brother-in-law shovel the entire driveway and the sidewalks, and we went and we piled the snow up along the bank. And we went in and got water, and we poured water over the top of the snowbank to make it like ice. We built this giant ice fort. And my brother came up to me, and he put his arm around me, and he's like, man, Ross, isn't this the coolest thing? And I said, yeah. And he grabbed me by the back of the head and slammed my head into the ice.
How much older is Brad than you?
4 years.
Man. See, I was lucky that my 3 older brothers.
Yeah, I think went
they
to your
left
Catholic
the house,
youth camp
right,
with your brother,
when I was
Travis.
in 7th grade. So I was always too young to really get picked on because they were beating on each other because they were closer in age. So I never really took the abuse from my brothers. Maybe that's why I don't talk to them today because they never picked on me when I was younger.
Probably. Brad and I have a great relationship. So.
See, that's the thing is I never built up those memories and those hostilities to where it forced us to get along later on.
Right. Joe and Benny, you guys stay right there. We're going to get to some baseball stuff, but it is a Thursday. Normally we'd be hanging out with our buddy Bruno down at El Bait Shop, but we're going to hang out with our buddy Bruno in a little bit of a different way. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing well. You are you enjoying are you enjoying a beverage on a Thursday? Are you having a beer?
Yes.
That boy. That's like Reverend Ray taking a big hit in the morning when he calls and he takes a big hit from his bong. That's the same thing that Bruno just did right there.
I was going to say one's illegal, but is Ray in Colorado?
I don't. Ray never really tells us where he's calling from.
I think Ray says he's in Colorado for like tax reasons.
And weed reasons.
Hint, wink, wink. That's what I meant. That's what I really meant.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He likes to hit that Iowa green.
Yeah!
Yeah, something like that.
Corn cobs. No, I don't know. You ever seen that picture? It's fine.
All right, you sent me a picture. Is this really what you're drinking? Fat Orange Cat.
Yeah.
Why does the can say Bruno on it?
30
It says
seconds. I
Bruno,
own that fucking
baby
spot.
beer cat. I don't know. It just does. So I grabbed a couple of those at the bait shop the other day.
What is this?
It's really good.
It's an IPA?
Yeah, it is from Fat Orange Cat Brewing.
That's the name of the. I thought that was the name of the beer. Fat Orange Cat's the name of the brewery.
Yeah, it's a New England style India Pale Ale, 6.8%, and it's really good.
How'd you come up with the name of your brewery? We were stoned, and there was a Fat Orange Cat.
Oh, yeah.
They have all their beer. Every one of their beers are great, and all their beers have like crazy art, and they're all caps.
I have the last couple nights, guys, have enjoyed this Confluence beer that I guess I should have bought a lot more of when I had the chance. 50's Dad.
Yep.
Fantastic. Travis, I should have bought some of this for you to bring over to Omaha for you, man. It is it's a stout with chocolate and vanilla, and I'm trying to remember what some of the other stuff is that John put in there. It is that Confluence makes some really good beers. That might be my favorite beer that they have. That I can't remember the name of their other big heavy stout. Ferryman's. Their Ferryman series are all really good, like with the coconut and stuff. But that 50's Dad is a really good one, Bruno.
Coconut, huh?
Yeah, the coconut Ferryman's is
Put the
fantastic.
lime in the coconut
I
and
think
drink
this
it
50's
all
Dad. It was available in cans, but Bruno, it was like a limited release, right?
Yeah, we had it on draft. Yeah, no,
Said
people were talking about that one for sure.
What is that something that I mean? John seems to do that a lot down at Confluence, right? Where they'll do one-offs of stuff. They'll run
Well,
things.
yeah, they're doing one beer. I think their ad says, and I don't know if this is shut down right now, but they're going to roll out a new beer a week. I imagine if I put a pause on that right now, but that's the plan, and that's what they did last year.
Well, I think, and I know he's been on with Murph and Andy kind of talking about that, and I know they're kind of keeping people up to date with exactly what he's doing. I think you can still do the order and go and pick up. And that's, you wanted to tell people that's something they can still do with all these places, right, Bruno? Like the chicken is a great spot. Love the chicken. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, the chicken's really good. It's doing well with the pizza and chicken. They're going to have fish tomorrow for Lent, and also they're working on seafood jambalaya, the Buzzard Billy's recipe. So if you're down that way, that's a good place. If you're in town, Buzzard Billy's everywhere it's going. All the foods are good to grab and take home. Every place is working on some kind of larger meal kind of deal, where you can you buy one meal and you can share with your family, and maybe even have leftovers. I know the Royal Mile is working on some large hotel pan versions of their food. We're all trying to just figure it out, but Truman's really has it figured out. They were really killing it last night. They have take and bake, $17 ready.
Take and bake.
So you just you take it home and bake it, or put it in your freezer, or put it in your fridge, cook it a few days, and it's just a nice way to stock up. They got a French dip pizza as their house specialty, hand-rolled crust, sautéed mushrooms with onion, steak, and mozzarella. Food dip. Or the Mahomes all-meat combo with 3 veggies of your choice. And then if you want to see more, Truman's Tavern on Facebook. They're at 400 Southeast 6th Street, downtown Des Moines, and you can reach them at 515-214-2759.
214-2759. 214-2759.
And they're at 400 Southeast 6th, just off of MLK. Real easy to get to, real easy to grab food and head home if you're working downtown, or if you're just kind of wanting to get out.
Thanks.
My family was out. My daughters and wife are out raking the lawn and everything today. It's a nice day to get out, but you kind of want to stay on your borders. But if you get in your car, you can get there. But
good job.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wife and daughters aren't raking the yard. Bruno's inside.
And you're drinking beer.
Drinking beer, talking beer.
You're a man after my own heart.
Hey, you know what? Making business work, baby.
Well, I rolled the dumpsters out to the curb.
Oh, yeah.
After they were filled up with leaves and
You
stuff.
took the trash out.
See you, Bruno.
I'll roll
There it
20
is.
feet for you.
Bruno.
Good trade. Talk to you soon, buddy.
The Iowa
Take care,
Green.
guys. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, man. All right, 284-5966. A bunch of you guys, the phone line's lit up as soon as we started talking baseball here about what Rod